Hi there, beautiful souls. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for tuning in and giving me the gift of your attention. If you are a first-time viewer of my channel, welcome. This is a welcome to the 3D to 5D channel. If you're all about expanding your consciousness, learning how to ascend from 3D state of consciousness to 5D, you are definitely on the right channel and on the right path. If you're a returning viewer, thank you for tuning back in and being a loyal viewer, subscribing, commenting, liking this video. I really greatly appreciate all of the engagement and all of the subscription I've been receiving. So thanks for spreading the light and spreading the movement and helping to wake up mass consciousness so we can all co-create a better reality for each other. Okay, so in this video presentation, we are going to talk about phase 1, how to ascend from being a 3D to 5D, and phase 1 is about unplugging from the matrix. If you're watching this video for the first time, you might want to tune into my previous broadcast where I give the overview of the 3-step process of becoming a 5D person. This video is going to go into depth about phase 1, which is unplugging from the matrix. So if you haven't watched my other videos, the link is going to be below for you to just catch up and get the overview of everything that I'm going to be talking about. Okay, so now let's go dive right into the subject about unplugging from the matrix. Okay, so why do you want to unplug from the matrix? Well, truth be told, the matrix is an artificial construct of the archons. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the term the archons, you might be familiar with the Christian terminology. The Christians calls them demons. The Muslims call them jinns. The archons comes from the Gnostic text from Nag Hammadi that was discovered, I believe in India, that describes how the characteristics of an archon. Okay, I'm going to describe those characteristics later on, but I'm just going to give you different names of what they go by because they have been described by many different texts, civilizations, and they have very specific traits that what I'm going to share to you about, and they are the real controllers and rulers of this planet, not the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers. I mean, these guys work in conjunction with the archons, but they're possessed by the archons. And we're going to talk about who they are, who the archons are, what their characteristics are, so you know how to recognize them. Okay. But besides, I give you some terminology that they go by: demons by Christian Bibles, jinns by Muslim, Anunnaki by Sumerian texts, archons by Gnostic texts, the serpents, the Brotherhood of Serpents by the Hopi people. So they have many names that they go by. And one of the characteristics of an archon is that they are fourth dimensional being that don't have a physical form, but they need to possess a body in order to have physical form. They invert everything. For them, everything, how their mind works is because they don't have creativity like the way we do, and they don't have imagination. They cannot create things from a blank piece of paper. They need to have something built in place, and what they do is they distort and they invert things. So that's how the archons work. Inversion, deception are the main tools of creativity, and how you would I want to describe. They're fourth dimension entities, and they don't have empathy like we do. So this is the reason why they can torture, hurt, and mutilate other beings without feeling any empathy for these people. So we call those people kind of psychopath in our modern day terminology. We call them psychopath, but these are the traits of an archon, demon-like, because they don't have any empathy, they don't have any love or care for other beings other than themselves. Okay, so now how do you know the matrix is an archon creation? Well, everything in the matrix works inverted. Everything is upside down. So for example, doctors destroy health. University destroys knowledge. Mainstream media destroys information. Religion destroys spirituality. Lawyers destroys justice. So you see how all the systems we have on our planet works the opposite way. Instead of working for the people, it works counterproductively in a totally opposite, backwards way where it perverses everything. This is what gives you a clue that this is the archons behind all of this creation, all this distortion and manipulation. So when it comes to unplugging from the matrix, one of the first things you have to do to awaken to all this deception is that you have to learn to question everything that's mainstream. Everything that's pushed on you by the mainstream media, by religion, by everything, it is pushed on you for a purpose, for a reason. It's never to serve mankind. It's never for the greater good. It's always for the greater evil. So some examples of this Archon Deception is, well, for example, I wrote down quite a few. For example, September 11th. Now, a lot of people who haven't done their research may still think that maybe September 11th were caused by these Muslim radicals that, coordinate all this elaborate attack with Osama bin Laden in a cave with no communication somehow, but they were able to coordinate this very sophisticated and complex attack with a guy sitting in a cave controlling all this. So if you still believe in that theory, I'm not gonna say anything, but if you want to go 5D, you're going to be expected to actually do your own research and think for yourself critically and come closer to the vibration of truth and uncover truth yourself and not be fed what the truth is. So one of the things you want to learn to question is you want to question the official narrative all the time, because the official narrative always has multiple hidden agenda to serve the archons, to further serve their agenda of either World War III or the creation of NWO, New World Order. Okay, so that's the first clue that you want to do, is always question the official narrative when it comes to September 11th, the Holocaust, the Hitler's death. Hitler never died after the World War, by the way. Him and his wife escaped to Argentina, and they have America also took a lot of the German scientists in Project Paperclip to be spread throughout the American Central Intelligence Agency for them to work in America as well too. So the Nazi didn't lose in the way that the textbook have told us. By the way, all the textbooks are all lies as well too. No difference from the mainstream media. They're all there to serve an agenda, to have us believe the official narrative, and the official narrative is always lies and distorted to serve the archons. Okay, now I told you to question Holocaust, Hitler. The moon landing is also very important too. That's also a huge deception behind that as well too. You might want to know why they want to get people to believe that we landed on the moon and that the moon is just a big giant rock and that it doesn't do anything. You might want to find out what the moon is really all about and why they did this elaborate hoax with Stanley Kubrick in Hollywood to produce this film to have us believe that we landed on the moon. We never did. We did, but never the way it was never the way that is published, televised on TV. Okay. The other thing you want to question is the royal family. They are not humans. They are reptilian archon hybrid, because these archons have humanoid forms too. And when they do have humanoid forms, they take on a humanoid form of half reptilian, half human. So this is the reason why I implore people to do research on the royal family, because that's another big deception for people to also wrap their head around, because it's hard for people to believe that the royal family is not human, but now to imagine the whole entire planet for all these thousands of years have been run by these demonic archon creatures. Okay, and the other deception you also want to plug out of and find out the truth about is climate change and this new age spiritual movement. Now, those two are also major deception. The climate change one serves the agenda for the Illuminati to form a new world order, which is their one world government that they want to form, to unite people, to have a common goal to get rid of this carbon issue, which, by the way, is not a carbon issue. This is just the natural cyclical cycle that the planet goes through. That it goes through heat, it goes into periods of heat being increased and then it lowering down. So that's why we have the ice age, and we have natural cycles of the planet that goes into these planetary shifts for weather changes. Now, they're lying about this climate change so that way to serve their NWO agenda, but also is also an excuse to now tax the air you breathe. They've taxed everything. They've taxed the water, electricity, food, clothing. They tax on your income. The only thing that they haven't taxed is the air you breathe. So with this climate change, when people buy into this climate change hoax, it will be the implementation of another carbon tax for the whole entire planet to solve this carbon pollution problem. Like, tax is really going to solve this problem. Okay, so that's another big hoax that I think people should also research into. But the biggest hoax of all, which I want to go into depth in this video, is this new age movement, this spiritual movement, because there's too many people practicing demonic practices, unknowingly conjuring up demons without even having awareness of what they're doing. So for example, when people are doing astral projection, yoga, transcendental meditation, these are 3 activities that is a part of the new age spiritual movement. And it's full of deception because the new age spiritual movement takes a lot of their knowledge from Satanism. Okay, the founders of new age movement is Helena Blavatsky and Aleister Crowley. These 2 people are the mother and father of Satanism. And they are the wickedest, most evil people when it comes to this area. Aleister Crowley is being deemed as the wickedest person, the wickedest man alive. So these 2 are known and famous occultists and Satanists. And these are the founding people of the New Age movement, okay? And in the New Age movement, the spiritual teaching, they take a lot of the spiritual teaching from all religion, put it in a huge potpourri mixing match, so that way there's no exclusion. They include all the religions, so that way it's a new religion for the whole entire planet. This is what their goal is that they unite the whole planet with one world religion, one world currency, one world government, the new world order. So this new age movement is that new religion that they want to spread across the planet, and it's gaining a lot of momentum. But I'm one of those people who is here to stop that momentum, because I want to expose the lies and deception, and I want the audience of this channel to do their own due diligence and investigate for themselves and look at the evidence that I'm going to share with you and come to your own conclusions. Okay, I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm here to share you some information, and with that information, I'd like you to do your own investigation and find your own truth. Okay, so a lot of the spiritual teaching that the New Age teaches comes from a little bit of Buddhism, a little bit of Hinduism, a little bit of Christianity, a little bit of Islam, and a little bit of Satanism too. And the 3 main practices that I am bringing to people's awareness that is conjuring demons into their lives is astral projection, yoga, and transcendental meditation. Okay, astral projection is dangerous because you are basically willingly getting your soul to vacate the body. Okay, when you vacate the body like this, you leave it vulnerable for other entities, other evil entities to possess your body. This is the reason why astral projection is pushed in the New Age movement is a cool thing, is a good thing for you to leave your body, to explore the 4D world, which there's nothing to explore. I mean, it's just a wasteland, a spiritual wasteland. There's nothing to see there, you know? So these New Ager are duped and deceived into practicing astral projection, leaving their body consciously, willingly, and then when you do that, right, you leave your body vulnerable for other demonic entities to possess it. It's no difference when you leave your car. Would you leave your car unlocked so other people can come into your car and hijack your car and steal your car? No, right? No one in their right mind would leave their car unlocked. You would always lock your car because for security reason. No difference when you leave your body, right? A lot of people who are deceived into leaving their body, well, there's no locking mechanism to keep your body safe from other entities from entering your body. None whatsoever. So once you get into this practice and you get duped, you're going to get demonically possessed, and you're going to be attracting a lot of chaos, a lot of destruction into your life that these demons like to do, which causes a lot of emotional, mental, physical harm to these people because that's the energy they feed off, okay? So astral projection is a demonic act. The other one is yoga. Yoga, they got people really, really good with yoga. I mean, there's people that still believe that yoga is a very beneficial exercise for the mind and the body, but they totally disregard that yoga is a religious and spiritual act practiced by Hindus. It's not an exercise. Hindus don't see yoga as an exercise. I mean, it's the worst form of exercise. You're contorted, you're there for long periods of time, you're not building any muscle. Sure, you're increasing your flexibility and your agility, but you're not really building your muscle, you're not increasing your heart rate, you're not doing anything that's actually making you more athletic. You know, you are becoming more flexible, no doubt about it, but it's not the same as, you know, you doing high intensity exercises, doing kickboxing, doing other forms of strenuous activity where you're actually elevating your heart rate. Yoga, the essence, the core of yoga is a spiritual and religious act practiced by Hindus, okay? They practice yoga. The word yoga comes from the word yoke, which means it's a union between the physical world and the spiritual world. So when a person who practices yoga, which is called yogi, they're actually doing a spiritual and a religious act of clearing their mind, emptying their body, and bringing themselves closer to their gods. Each pose they're doing is actually an offering to their gods. And their gods are demons. They believe in more than 33 million, or it could be 330 million. I don't know which one is the right number because there's millions of gods they believe in, okay? Gods, small g. So these gods are actually demonic entities. So when you do it improperly, which most people are doing improperly because they don't have the spiritual or religious teaching behind these yoga, they're just going to doing these poses thinking it's an exercise. It's not an exercise. With doing proper yoga, you're doing breathing exercises, but you're also doing mantras and you're holding these poses. All these three in combination, when you do it properly, you're actually conjuring demons to enter your body because what they're doing is they're training your mind to be empty and they're training your body to be empty. What do you do? What happens when your body, your mind becomes empty? Who do you think is going to come possess that? It's not going to be the angels. Angels don't violate people's free will like that. It's only the demons that exert that kind of behavior, possessing another person's vessel against their free will. So this is the reason why yoga is a satanic practice. Now, not many people know how yoga became so distorted, like the way it has been in the Western society. I mean, in the Eastern society, they just look at the West as being really distorted and disillusioned because the West has taken yoga, which is a spiritual and religious Hindu act, and they have completely perversed it and distorted to be an exercise meant to be done in 42 degrees Celsius, which is very insane because most yogis tell their students and practitioners to do yoga in the coolest time of the day, because it's not saying to be doing yoga in high temperature. You're gonna have, you're gonna have heat stroke. You're gonna have issues with your heart rate and your breathing. But yet, this is what they have people doing. Contorting their bodies in high temperature, sweating a lot, and doing these ridiculous exercises, not realizing that each of these poses are actually, poses offering to their demon gods. This is really bad how bad the level of deception is that they have gone with destroying this yoga, because yoga has 8 branches in Hinduism. Hatha yoga is only one branch out of the 8, okay? But they have took the one branch and they did a very good public relations campaign, thanks to the Beatles, and they've made yoga into this fitness craze that now is introduced in schools, universities, in gyms. Everybody's doing yoga, even yoga for children. But little do they know what they're doing is actually a demonic practice. Okay, I'm telling you this, so you should also do your own investigation and do your own research into this. This is a very controversial topic, but I need you guys to look into this further and come up to your own conclusion. I also want to tell you the history how yoga became so popular in the West. Okay, yoga and transcendental meditation became popular thanks to the Beatles in the 1950s and the 1960s. The Beatles is the creation of the Illuminati. You know that all musicians, all bands, all music, all movies that are mainstream is created by this Illuminati group. They own the media. And the Beatles is no different from all of these other Illuminati artists. They have an agenda to serve. They're there to have a purpose. They have a purpose, they have an agenda to serve. And one of the purpose of the Beatles was be the influencer for the counter culture, for the hippies, for the people that are into alternative, that are against the mainstream religion, the mainstream way of thinking. So the Beatles will be the influencer, the catalyst for this movement. So you see a lot of hippies emerging, and it was the Beatles that went to India that started adopting yoga and transcendental meditation and adopted into their way of being. And then from there it just took off because the Beatles had a huge, massive fan base. And from there, yoga and transcendental meditation just took off. And this is the reason why it has been perverted the way it's been perverted, because of the Beatles' influence and how the Illuminati have took a religious Hindu act and perverted it and destroyed it to be this now health and fitness and wellness exercise that everybody's doing and having their children do, not realizing that each of the pose they're doing, they're actually communing themselves and offering themselves to their demons, God, that they're doing. Each pose is actually making an offering to the demon God, just so you guys know. Do your own research into this, okay? So, now, if you don't believe me in this one, just to tell you how sick these people are, they even brainwash the whole entire world to be taking sodium fluoride and thinking that is a good agent for you to be brushing your teeth with and to prevent cavities. Now, if you guys don't know what sodium fluoride is, it's the main ingredient for rat poison. They are putting rat poison in people's toothpastes, and they have brainwashed everybody to believe that it's good for your teeth. It's good for preventing cavities. Now, no one in their right mind would take rat poison or even think it's good for their teeth. But this is how deceptive, how sick, and how evil they are in putting rat poison into people's toothpicks, because they know it calcifies the pineal gland and it makes the population more docile from the experiment they done in the concentration camp in the Holocaust. So this is the reason why they put sodium fluoride, which is a rat poison, in people's toothpaste. So if you doubt me with the whole yoga, that being satanic, just think about that. If they're willing to put rat poison in people's toothpaste and make you believe that it's good for your teeth, just imagine the other deception they make people believe in this matrix. Vaccinations, for example, another example. So in phase 1 in your ascension process, it is imperative for you to question everything mainstream, because everything's mainstream is not good for you. There is not good for you because they want to own you and they want to control you, and most importantly, they want to just make money off of you as well too. They make money off of you through the manipulation of the media, getting you to consume all their sugary products full of cancer, and then they make money off of you of the pharmaceutical drugs they prescribe to you with their doctors. So when you unplug from the matrix, you're going levels up in your ascension, because you're going from the depth of deception all the way up to truth and enlightenment, which is one of the highest frequency is enlightenment. Is when you start vibrating in the frequency of truth and enlightenment. So this is how the archons work, okay? They invert everything, they make everything distorted, and this is how you see the evidence of their making. You just look at something, you see it working backwards, you know it's the creation of the archons, because it's designed to serve them. It's not designed to serve us. And the sooner you can unplug from the matrix, turn off your TV, stop watching movies, stop paying attention to mass media, and just, you know, doing your own research, start thinking for yourself, you're gonna be so much closer to becoming 5D, because 5D being, you're expected to know all this information as being just the fundamental in you being conscious, being you awake. If you're still believing in a lot of these 3D programming, you're still heavily believing into deception in this matrix, and you won't be ascending because you're still believing in illusions. So 5D is in the frequency of truth. So time for you to do your own work, do your own journeys, and you know, consciously question everything you have been told, because everything's been a lie, a major lie. So I haven't just told you just, you know, a tiny bit of the deception that they've done with the whole planet. So imagine what you guys are going to cover if you guys go your own research, do your own journeys. Okay, so once again, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this talk. If you guys want to take it one step further and become a spiritual warrior, digital warrior, and help spread this light, this information, this is how we win the war against darkness, because right now we are in a war between light and dark, but I'm going to cover that in another video and go into a lot of details about that. But how you win this war is you expose the deception, you wake people up. The more you can wake people up to their true power of being a god, a co-creator of this reality, then we can start learning how to really hone in our power and start co-creating a reality that just serves us and not serving the archons. Okay, so thank you for watching me. You know, tell me what you think about this video. What do you think about all the things I've been sharing with you, the archons, all the deception? Leave me your comments. I would love to hear your feedback. This is YouTube, you know. You guys have an opportunity to be engaging with me, ask me questions, leave me a comment, and I can also engage with you. It's not like watching TV where you just watch and you listen and then that's it. YouTube allows you to be interactive, so use that platform and engage, share, like, spread the light, and be a part of the movement to help raise mass consciousness so we can all co-create a better reality for everyone. Okay guys, thanks a lot. Thank you and take care. Bye bye.